should be live and ready to go now. Hope everyone can hear me. As we get some things set up here for a 1:40 game start time, but we have a great game for you here today on this Sunday afternoon here in Rapid City, South Dakota. And as currently the weather today, it's 58 degrees outside with sunny. It's a good day, but a little bit of some wind, and that could be a bit of a difficulty here today in throwing some baseballs and all that. But 14 miles per hour is the wind, but 58 degrees is what we're going to be looking like today. As you can see the flags in the back, and we also have the scoreboard up today as I figured that out. So pretty proud of myself for getting that up. All right, but today we should be ready to go as we'll go here through the takeaways from yesterday's game. As one of the big takeaways was yesterday, both teams were trailing earlier in the game. So in the first game, we had the Hardhats, Sheridan, the Troopers. They had a 1-0 lead early in that game, which brought them up a little bit. And then earlier, Hardhats, they had a big inning later on. They had 5 in that first game, the 5th inning. And then they scored another one in the next to win the first game. And then in the second game, the Hardhats, they came out early. They got 1 up on the board in the first inning. And then Sheridan came back in the 5th as they got 3. And then followed by another 3 by Post 22 Hardhats and winning that second game 6-3, part of the doubleheader last night. And Wyatt Reeder, big story last night, the inside the park home run for Wyatt Reeder, and that was a huge hit into left center, all the way back to the warning track, and he kind of stopped at third base. He didn't know where the ball was, a little bit of a drop, and he ran all the way to home. He kind of missed home plate, and he double checked to go hit home plate, and he got it. Josh Elder, the catcher yesterday for the Hardhats, he had a triple, 2 RBI, and then after that, it was followed by Dexter Steen. Right after Elder hit the triple, then it was followed by Dexter Steen, the first baseman, and he hit it up with a triple as well. And then Jace Morgan, who pitched in the end of the second game last night, as well as Skylar Morgan, Montgomery, I apologize, who finished the first game for that. Ryan Negebauer, who started the second game for the Hardhats, he had a whopping 8 strikeouts for Post 22. 8 strikeouts for Ryan Negebauer. Broden Sales was the starting pitcher for the first game. Court Morlang, who came in the second game as he threw a strikeout, and stolen bases for Carter Johnson in the first game, and then Lars Kiefer in that second game, who got a stolen base. He stole second, and then right after he stole third base. So 2 stolen bases for Lars Kiefer in that game earlier. For Sheridan, the takeaways, Will Greer, he had a triple, 2 RBI as well in the second game. With Griff Switzenberg, who was the starting pitcher in that second game for Sheridan, he had 4 strikeouts. Owen Matthews, who he also pitched for a little bit, he threw 2 strikeouts. And then later in the first game, he had a double RBI, which kind of started that for Sheridan with their runs up on the board. And then Ethan Evans was the starting pitcher for the Sheridan Troopers last game. So as we have the starting pitchers in the roster here for Post 22 and the Troopers. And we have the starting pitcher for Sheridan. We have number 14, Cassius Kula. Starting pitcher for Sheridan. The starting pitcher for Post 22, the Hardhats, will be number 24, Rowan Fredrickson. As that is the starting pitchers. We'll go here for the Hardhats batting order. We have number 19 at center field, Lars Kiefer. Up next, number 18, Wyatt Reeder, second base. Number 22, Jace Morgan at left field. Number 23, Carter Johnson, who is the designated hitter for today. 25, Dexter Steen playing at first base. Number 27, Kane McLeod at right field. Number 12, Dawson Inhofer at third base. Behind the plate today, with number 16, Carter Brager. At shortstop, number 11, Blaine Hunt. So that is what the batting order will look like in every position for the Hardhats today. Going for the Sheridan Troopers. Top of the list, we have the third baseman, number 21, Will Greer. Shortstop, number 2, Tanner Hamrick. Behind the plate for Sheridan today will be number 16, Blaine Phillips. At right field, we have number 7, Owen Matthews. And then their designated hitter, number 23, Yvonne Barney. At center field, number 8, Gunnar Lamb. He also pitched a little bit last night for the Troopers. At left field, number 1, Ethan Harris. First baseman, number 27, Ethan Evans. And at second base, number 6, Griff Switzenberg. That is the batting order and the roster for the Troopers today. So we should be in for a great game. Hardhats starting off 2-0, great on the season. As you see on the scoreboard that I figured out. So we have a scoreboard now, so we can see what the score is without me saying it all the time. So that's going to help myself and you out. As As we get closer here, we'll take a quick break as the teams get warmed up, and 1:40 is when we'll start and get ready to roll. As we'll be right back. So after the doubleheader yesterday for Pulse 22, the lineup will pretty much stay the same. A little bit some shape shifting in the lineup. Carter Brager with Josh Elder, who was the catcher for both games in yesterday's game. So Brager will get a chance behind the plate here today. Rowan Fredrickson, he'll make his first start of the season, as it was in the first game we saw Broden Sales. He got the first start, and then in the second game it was Ryan Negebauer, who had an impressive 8 strikeouts, and he got the ball rolling. So those are the two starting pitchers in yesterday's game, and then now Rowan Fredrickson in today's. And the white uniforms here today for the Pulse 22 Hardhats, as you see on your screen on the left side, is the Sheridan Troopers in the blue. Like we said earlier, just a little bit of some wind, so that might be could be a deciding factor here today, depending on wind, pitching, and how the ball is going to happen. But yesterday we kind of saw a lot of stuff happen. We had very low hits in sort of games. We had a few walks, but the Hard Hats, they finished out strong. They came back in that first game, very impressive. They were down 4-0, came back and then got a 5-inning, bottom of the fifth, and then the next inning they followed with a 6. So they got a 6-4 win the first game, and the second they won 6-3. Double headers are a bit tough, right? You got to keep control of your body. You got to rest up a little bit. You got to get a lot of fluids. You have to stay hydrated. Being dehydrated and playing in a hot sun is a tough thing. But a lot of these guys, they've been doing this for a while now, and they know what they know what their bodies need and stuff like that, right? You got to eat right, drink right, whatever you got to do to get your body all up and going. So the Hard Hats, after playing 2 last night, they only play 1 today. As we'll get that here in 3 more minutes, as we'll get that going and ready to start. So we have a slight delay from switching to cameras, so I might be a little bit ahead, and I apologize in advance. But I will try my best to maybe try to switch through camera to camera, but we will try to stay here on the camera that you see on your screen right now with a beautiful layout of the field, and we'll sometimes pan over to the other camera here in the booth with me. But we'll try to kind of keep it with a little bit of a delay. I don't want to ruin any highlights that might come in later. But we have struck the 140 clock here in Rapid. Well, not yet, but in a few seconds we will. As the final throws coming in for the Hardhats in the field. And the clicks of the Hardhats. They're excited, and that has to be fun. You know, you get first few games. I think that's the biggest thing everyone looks forward to is opening day, right? You get the jitters out. You play one of the best sports ever. It's America's sport. You get out. You get to do what you love, and who doesn't love what they don't love? You know, you get to do that all the time. And they get the jitters out yesterday, and they looked really great. You know, there was a few times where they were slow, but I think again, you just got to get those jitters out in the first games, and we kind of talked about that yesterday. They played a scrimmage the weekend prior, but those were against their teammates, right? These guys are now playing, other teams, other opponents who are obviously they don't know them as well as their own teammates, so they have to kind of change a little bit of some things going in. But the Hardhats, they look to improve it today, go to a 3-0 record, and we'll get finalized as both of the managers meet up at the home plate, being the umpires, talk about what things they want to discuss, and get ready to go. A little bit windy, everyone wearing some jackets. As it's a bit windy, as yesterday it was a beautiful day outside. It was nice and sunny, just perfect weather, very little breeze. And then you kind of come in today and you get that light, cold breeze, and you're kind of like, yeah, where's my jacket? I thought I threw that away with springtime and summertime coming around the corner. But if you know well, South Dakota, wherever you can never trust, so unpredictable. One day it'll be like 7 degrees, and the next day it's snowing, and you're like, what the heck? But you never know with South Dakota weather. It's the Midwest weather, I guess. So finalizing with Torve. He looks back to the dugout. We got a great crowd here today. Also, a great crowd to everyone who showed up yesterday for opening day for the doubleheader. We had a great crowd. It was alive in the stadium, and today we have a great crowd as well, filling in the seats still. But we will have a great crowd. Everyone loves Post 22 baseball. The success is there. They're doing great, and they're 2-0 off to a hot start. Hopefully, the heat streak will come as we'll get finalized here. We'll be right back once we get ready for the first few pitches.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dave Kluber Field at Black Hills Crystal Ballpark for today's game, featuring a visit from the
All
Fort
right, so
Worth
they're going
Sheridan
over the
Troopers.
BA system
And
over
this
everyone. The
will
starting
be
lineup soon to
the
come up
Hardhats.
as we'll try to hear if we can hear them.
At this time, we'd like to introduce the starting lineups for each squad. As we introduce you, come out to your respective baseline. First of all, for the visiting Troopers. Batting first and playing third base, number 21, Will Greer.
So player
Batting
intro
second
is
and pitching
happening. They'll
first,
walk up to
number
the
32,
third baseline,
Tanner Emmerich.
first baseline for the Troopers, third baseline for the
Batting
Hardhats.
third and catching, number 16, Blaine Phillips. Batting fourth and playing right field, number 7, Owen Matthews. Batting fifth and designated hitter, number 23, Alan Party. Batting sixth and playing center field, number 8, Gunnar Lamb. Batting seventh and playing left field, number 1, Ethan Harris. Batting eighth and playing first base, number 27, Ethan Evans. And batting ninth and playing second base, number 6, Griff Swissenberg. And pitching for the Troopers today, number 14, Cassius Kula.
So Cassius Kula, the starting pitcher
He
for
is
Sheridan
relieved by
today.
Austin Crown.
them will come out and we get ready here for the introductions of the Hardhats.
And now for your Post 22 Hardhats starting lineup. Leading off to play center field, number 19, Lars Kiefer. Batting second to play second base, number 18, Wyatt Reeder. Batting third, playing left field, number 22, Diggs Morgan. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 23, Card Johnson. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 25, Dexter Steve. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 27, Kane McLeod. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 12, Dawson Inhofer. Batting eighth and catching, number 16, Carter Breaker. And batting ninth and playing shortstop, number 11, Blaine Hutz. The pitcher for this afternoon's game is number 24, Rowan Frederickson.
So Rowan Frederickson, the starting pitcher for the Hardhats today, as now the rest of the team spills out of the dugout. And we'll get the national anthem here in a second.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, would ask you to please rise. For leader half of the Honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Today, the anthem is being sung by Mountain City resident Blake Benson. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the moon's bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you, Blake. All right,
So that's the scene of our national anthem as we'll get closer here and ready to go for the first pitch with Rowan Frederickson, the first pitch, or starting pitcher for the Hardhats, and then the first up for Sheridan Troopers, the third baseman, Will Greer. As they all get ready to go, the Hardhats, as they get set, and now they storm the field. Carter Brager were the new ads, as he will be behind the plate today as Josh Yelder, who was the catcher yesterday. So Brager will play in his first game of the season. But nothing really changes in the infield or anything like that. So taking his warm-up pitches is Rowan Frederickson as he gets the nod. Dexter Steen at first base, Reeder second, Blaine Hunt at shortstop, and Dawson Inhofer at the third base for the Hardhats. Outfield, at left field, you have Jace Morgan. Center field, Lars Kiefer. And at right field, Kane McLeod. As they get ready and set, final few pitches here for Rowan Fredrickson to get that right hand all warmed up. So Broden Sales, like we said in the first game, was the starting pitcher for the Hardhats, and then Ryan Negebauer was the second starting pitcher in the second game of that doubleheader last night on April 12th. Today, April 13th of 2025. And Brager behind the home plate. So the final throw for Brager as they get ready and set. As Greer steps into the batter's box. And yesterday, Will Greer, he kind of had a big game. He was a part of our key takeaway. As Greer, who had a triple, 2 RBI in the second game. Greer, who plays a key role for the Troopers as he's at third base today for them defensively. So we're ready to go. As Fredrickson, the starting pitcher for the Hardhats, he gets the okay. Greer steps in the batter's box, and we're set and ready to go here for the third game of the season for the Post 22 Hardhats. Here comes the first one, the first pitch. That one hit to Greer. Reader steps into it. Throw to Steen. That one out. So first pitch goes to out. So that's going to be one down. So one out following the first pitch from Rowan Fredrickson. And now with the shortstop number 2, Tanner Hamrick, who steps in the box. Fredrickson, here comes the first pitch. That one will go for ball 1. So 1-0 the count. Fredrickson will get the nod. He deals. Here's the throw. That one outside. That one goes in for ball 2. 2-0 with the count. Fredrickson, here comes that one. He'll foul that one off. He just got a piece of that one. So that puts the count at 2 on the umpire. Go back. He grabs the ball. Shoves it in the pocket, so if it's needed later. As Montgomery, or excuse me, not Montgomery, Fredrickson, I apologize. Here comes the first one. That one goes upstairs, so that will be for ball 3. So with a 3-1 count, here comes the throw. That one in for strike 2. So we're in at a full count. 3-2 with 1 down. And now with the full count with 1 down, here comes the throw. This one will still stay fair. Right to Dawson Inho for the throw from third to Steen. That's out number 2. And he gets some. So that's 2 down. So a ground out to Dawson Inhofer, the third baseman today for the Post 22 Hardhats. And now with the catcher, Blaine Phillips for the Troopers, as they try to get some involvement here in the crowd. And now, first pitch of this at bat, 2 down. Here comes the first one. And now we'll go for ball 1. 1-0 the count with 2 down, top of the first inning. Fredrickson deals as Phillips gets a piece of that one. That one goes into the netting off a foul tip. So that evens the count at 1-1 apiece with 2 down. And the throw there back from Carter Brager behind the home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. Phillips in the box with Fredrickson with the pitch. That one's going to go in for strike 2. Or excuse me, ball 2. I apologize. 3-1 the count. I got to get better at doing this. 2-1 the count. I apologize. Fredrickson with the throw. That one just goes outside, so that will be ball 3. 3-1 the count with 2 down. Phillips, who is strong, he kind of he was at catcher the first game for the Troopers. Then he kind of moved to third base, so he was kind of moved around. Here comes the throw, and this one's going to go into left center, and this one is going to get down. This one all the way back off the warning track in the dirt. Here comes the throw of Phillips. Will stay on second. So that's going to be a double for Blaine Phillips. So Owen Matthews, he's in with Phillips on second base after a hit into left center, which results into a double. Matthews, the right fielder. Frederickson looks back at second base where Blaine Hunt, the shortstop, will cover. Here comes the high pitch. That one high up. That'll be for ball one. So 1-0 the count with 2 outs. Phillips leads off of second. Frederickson waits for which pitch he wants from Carter Brager. He gets what he wants. Frederickson looking back and forth. Here comes the throw, and that one foul tip. So that will put it at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike for Matthews in the batter's box. Due up for Sheridan, the designated hitter, Yvonne Barney. 1-1, Frederickson on the mound. Deals, and a swing and a miss. That one in for strike 2. So 1-2 with the count, with Phillips on second. 2 down here. Frederickson could put it away. Looks back at second where Phillips leads off. As Frederickson will take a second, he'll take a step off the mound. Steps back on. We're ready to go here for another one. So 1-2 still the count with 2 outs. Here comes the throw, and he gets him, and a strikeout caught him looking. So that's the 3rd out, and a strikeout for Rowan Frederickson. So 1 hit on the board for Sheridan. And now we will see the Hardhats get an opportunity. Lars Kiefer, as he had 2 stolen bases, he stole second, and then right away he stole third right after. And Carter Johnson also was a part of that stolen base. But the biggest highlight, I think, from last night was Wyatt Reeder's inside the park home run. You don't see those very often, and you can see the wheels that Reeder has and the strength from the Swing King. Yes, Wyatt Reeder, the Swing King, puts a lot of power into it. So Cassius Kula, the starting pitcher for the Troopers today. Number 14, he did not get a chance to play yesterday, so he'll get his first look today. Behind their home plate for Sheridan is Blaine Phillips, who have hit the double for the Troopers to put them on base. So Kula getting in his final throws. So Lars Kiefer be the first up for the Hardhats. And Kiefer, he was the first one on the board yesterday in the second game for the Hardhats. As that's the first game. Yeah, he had a walk, and then he followed with another walk, and then he got in for a run. So he got walked, but still, a run is a big deal. So he will step in the box. Kiefer for Cassius Kula's first pitch here of the game. Here comes the throw. That one in for ball 1. He'll start off the count with 1-0. Kula on the mound for the Troopers with Kiefer in the box. Here comes a throw. That one goes to the dirt. That will be in for ball 2. Kiefer patiently waits for one that he can strike in the box. As Cassius Kula on the mound gets the nod. Here's the throw. That one's in for strike one. So 2-1 with the count on Kiefer. Kula kicks and deals. The throw comes, and this one hit by Kiefer. Up and up. Oh, what a catch! The shortstop for the Troopers, Tanner Hamrick, a leaping catch, and that will put one down. So that will set up Reeder to the box. So a great catch from Tanner Hamrick, the shortstop for the Troopers. As Reeder, obviously the story of last night, the inside the park home run. So with one down following the catch from Hamrick on Kiefer's hit, and that one's going to be in for a strike. So 0-1 the count to start off Reeder's at bat. Reeder, the low bat swing like he does every time when he's in the box. Kula the throw. Reeder hits this one. This one might drop, and it will. So Reeder will get a one hit or a single, a base hit. And Reeder.
Now batting number 22, Jace Morgan.
So the left fielder, Jace Morgan, as he steps in the box with Reeder on first with one down. Kula, the right-handed pitcher. The first throw, Morgan fouls this one up. This one headed towards the dugout of the Hardhats, that one into the grass. I don't see anyone running for it. That's kind of unusual. We saw a lot of... Oh, now there's one kid running. He's going for that ball. He's running. He's got a pair of wheels on him. He's going to get that one before anyone else does. Whew. Put him in as pinch runner. So, with 0-1 the count, as Morgan will take that one for ball one. 1-1 will even the count out at ones. Reeder tiptoes off first, inching his way towards second. Kula the throw. Morgan hits this one right to the shortstop, potentially a double play. There's one. Morgan, is he in time? And he's safe. So they only get Reeder out. So the designated hitter, Carter Johnson, up. He had a stolen base yesterday. So we have two outs with now Jace Morgan on first base, which Reeder was on first, and the hit to ground it to shortstop. And then got Reeder out. They tried the double play. Morgan beat it out. Carter Johnson with Kula. The throw. There goes Morgan, the throw. He's going to get one stolen base. So Jace Morgan, the stolen base, his first of the season. And with a 1-0 count, ball and 0 strikes. And a high hold on the bat there for Carter Johnson. Right elbow high. Kula the throw. Johnson got a piece of it, fouls it off. So 1-1 with the count. 2 outs in each. Sheridan and Hardhats both have 1 hit on the board. 0 errors to this point. 1-1 the count, 2 down. Kula to throw that one high up. That will go in for ball 2. So with 2 on the count, Kula gets a throw back from Phillips behind the plate for the Troopers. Morgan leads off second after following a stolen base. Kula looking back and forth. The throw comes. Johnson pops this one up right behind me, and we'll foul off. So 2-2 evens it up. So 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. With Morgan leading off of the second base. Cassius Kula. The throw. Johnson hits it here. Catch made by Matthews, the third baseman. Throw to first, and that will retire the inning. So the third out of the first inning, that will do it. Still 0-0 on the board, but we have 1 hits for each. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back to start off the second inning. And then up next for the Troopers is the right fielder, number 7, Owen Matthews, as we'll be right back. So Rowan Frederickson, who remains on the mound still for the Hardhats, he threw one strikeout in the top of the first inning. We're now in the second, still 0-0 as you see on the scoreboard, and a hit for each. So now Matthews, or excuse me, not Matthews, it's Barney, the designated hitter. So Frederickson on the mound. Barney, the designated hitter for the Troopers. Frederickson will start with an 0-0 count, first of the inning. Here comes the throw, and they'll be in for ball one. Frederickson put some Chinese mustard on that one, threw something on it to give it some extra heat. Frederickson with another one, that one in. That's going to be in for the zone for strike one. 1-1 the count, two straight heaters from the right wrist, right arm, shoulder, whatever. Frederickson with a 1-1 count, the throw. That one's going to be in for strike two. 1-2 the count. Frederickson keep going with the heaters. So 1 ball with 2 strikes. Frederickson deals. The throw comes, and a swing and a miss. Strikes out Barney. So that's back-to-back strikeouts for Frederickson after Matthews struck out. That's the second strikeout of the day for Rowan Frederickson. Back in the box for the Troopers, we have Gunnar Lamb, number 8, the center fielder for the Troopers. That one's going to be in for a strike with 1 down, 1 out. Frederickson delivers the pitch. The throw comes. That one will be for ball one. 1-1 with 1 down. On deck for the Troopers is the left fielder Ethan Harris. Frederickson the throw again. That one in for strike two. So 1-2 the count. He struck out Barney on the last at-bat, and then the last at-bat in the top of the first, he struck out Owen Matthews. Now Frederickson off the mound. The throw comes. Swing and a miss. That's 3 strikeouts in a row, back-to-back here in the inning. And that's how you want to keep it going. That's the 3rd strikeout for Rowan Frederickson. So Ethan Harris in the box for the Troopers. So with 2 outs, Frederickson delivers the pitch, and that one in for strike one. Zero balls and a strike now. Frederickson with the throw. Swings this one, is going to go right field under his Kane McLeod. Catches, and that will do it. So a pop out, that will do it for that inning. Top of the second. And now with the Hardhats, we'll get a chance, and we'll be right back and get things settled down. So leading off for the bottom of the second inning will be Dexter Steen, the first baseman. You saw Raider, who got a single, and then followed by Jace Morgan, single, but then got Raider out. Stayed in safe for first, and then a stolen base for Jace Morgan. So Dexter Steen in the box. He had a great first game yesterday. And then he was a part of, after Josh Elder hit the triple 2 RBI, he followed right after with a triple himself. And he looks to follow with that success. First of this one. Here comes the throw. That one inside. And that one goes right behind Steen and the umpire. So they get a new one, throwing right back to Cassius Kula, the starting pitcher for the Troopers. 1 ball, 0 strikes. Kula the throw. That one's going to go outside for ball 2. Dexter Steen is very patient, very disciplined at the plate. And now 2-0 the count. Kula the throw. And that one's going to go for ball 3. No swing, no nothing from Dexter Steen. 3 balls, 0 strikes. Kula delivers the throw. And he's going to walk him. 4 balls. Will walk Dexter Steen. So Kay McLeod, the right fielder, who caught that fly out in just that last inning to put it away with a 0 on the board for Sheridan. So McLeod, who played a little bit of some designated hitter yesterday, and he went into the outfield as well. So with Steen, who was just walked, he's on first base. Throw to first. Steen slides in safe. Dexter Steen catches with his right hand. Comes in handy when a goalie gets hurt in the state tournament for hockey. You're only right-handed goalie, and he catches with his right, so it comes in handy for Dexter Steen. So that's going to be 1 strike. So 0-1 the count. Kula nods. Throws. That one down in the dirt for ball 1. So with 1 ball, 1 strike, 0 outs, Steen remains on first, following being walked. Kula with a slight turnover. The throw comes, that one outside, that one for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike with Kay McLeod at bat. Here comes the throw from Kula. That one in for strike 2. Box. 2-2 the count. And now with Kula. Throw swing and a miss. Saw strikeout. Kay McLeod.
Now batting number 12, Boston Inhofer.
So Kula with his first strikeout of the game. With 1 out, Steen still on first, throws to first. Steen gets in time, stays safe from the pickoff attempt. As Dawson Inhofer, third base, he made a great play earlier. Grounded straight to him, throw to first to get 1 down. Those are the first inning. Here comes the throw from Kula. That one goes outside, ball 1. The wind's picking up a little bit here. The trees moving, flags, and the scoreboard going like crazy. So with 1 ball, 0 strikes, Kula the throw. This one is hit by Inhofer to center field. That one's going to drop. So Steen around second. It gets by him. Steen goes. McLeod runs after second. Steen's going to take after third. McLeod goes to third. Steen's going to run in safe. That's 1 run. And that's on the board for the Hardhats. So with Kay McLeod, that one which slipped right back. So a run for Dexter Steen. So with only one out, the Hardhats take a early 1-0 lead. Back of the box is the catcher, Carter Brager. And now here comes the throw from Kula. That one will go for ball. 2-0 the count. With Kane McLeod on third base following the triple RBI. Kula extends, throwing. This one is going to go right to third. Did he get one? No, throws it to first. So that's one down as they try to tag McLeod. He just stayed in safe. So with 2 outs, McLeod still remains on third. And now, bottom of the batting order, Blaine Hunt. And yesterday in the second game, he was hit by pitch 2 times in a row at both at bats, which the dugout was going crazy for him too. I'm sure maybe some bruises. I don't know. That has to hurt. So with Hunt, Kula the throw, that one will go outside for ball 1. So the Hardhats with a 1-0 lead at the bottom of the second inning from Kane McLeod, Dawson Inhofer. That one inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 0 strikes with 2 outs. As Hunt in the batter's box, the throw comes. This one fouls off. This one behind the netting. Fouls off. So with a 2-1 count, facing off with Hunt as he re-enters in the box. Two on Kula the throw. That one bounces in the dirt, but that's going to bring in one. And he'll take his base. So that's another hit by pitch on Blaine Hunt. So that's 3 in the last 2 days. So Lars Kiefer back up as he popped to the shortstop, which Tanner Hamrick, the shortstop for the Troopers, made an incredible catch to make the first out. That was the first pitch of the game, and he swung. So Kiefer with Hunt at first, and Hunt's going to go. So Hunt's going to get a stolen base. That's the first stolen base for him. So now with runners at second and with Dawson Inhofer at third on an 0-1 count. Here comes that one. Kiefer into right field. That one's going to drop. It stays fair. So that's Inhofer in. Hunt comes in. So that's 2 runs in. That's going to be a double. 2-run RBI for Lars Kiefer. And it's a 3-0 lead early on here for the Hardhats. So Wyatt Reeder back up as he hit a single his last time up with 2 outs. So Kiefer on second following the double 2-run RBI. Kula the throw. That went in for a strike. So 0-1. Lars Kiefer, who stole second base and third base yesterday, as he leaps off second. Kula looking back, seeing what he wants to do. He's going to throw it. That one in for strike 2. So Reeder faces it. 0 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down. And now Cassius Kula on the mound. Delivers the throw. Reeder. That one's going to hook right. It fouls. So still on an 0-2 count. Reeder took it. And it just hooks off right. Kiefer still remains on second for the Hardhats on a 3-0 lead. And now extending off the base. Reeder hits this one. This one is going right center, going to the wall. It's not caught. Reeder runs after first. He's going to bring in Kiefer. Reeder rounds second. Does he go for the insider again? This one hops in, and that's going to be a triple, and it's 4-0 Hard Hats. So a triple RBI for Wyatt Reeder. Wyatt Reeder, the swing king, shows why he's the swing king. So 4-0. Still with two outs, as Kula will still remain on the mound here for Sheridan. And Jace Morgan got it for a single earlier on a stolen base, but he's going to take a strike here. So 0-1. So Wyatt Reeder on third base. That one hit into right center from Reeder. He hit into left center yesterday to get the inside the park home run. Kula to throw that one in for strike 2. 0-2 count. Faces off with Morgan. Morgan, the left fielder for the Hard Hats. On a 0-2 count with 2 outs. Kula delivers. Swing and a miss. Strikes him out. So that's going to retire the second inning. But 4 runs for the Hard Hats. It's 4-0. From Wyatt Reeder, from Lars Kiefer, from Blaine Hunt. Everyone did what they needed to do. So getting up here for the third inning soon here in a bit. We'll take a second and let them warm up, and we'll be right back.
Those 22 parents will be walking through the stands during the third inning for today's 50-50 drawing. Tickets are $3 $9 $2 and $30 $5. The winning ticket receives one half of the pot, while the other half goes to Post 22 baseball. So fans, get that money out, buy those 50-50 tickets for your chance to win some big money.
So Rowan Fredrickson will still be on the pitcher's mound for the Hard Hats to start the top of the third inning. 3 strikeouts for Fredrickson, and now this is going to be Ethan Evans, the first baseman. He was the starting pitcher yesterday in the first game for the Troopers, and he's going to get his chance here. So he steps in the box. 4-0 lead for the Hard Hats entering this third inning. The throw comes, a swing and a miss from Evans. That's going to be strike 1. Fredrickson has been throwing some heat, especially the last inning. That's why it showed why he threw 3 strikeouts thus far. 2 in the last inning. The throw comes, swing and miss, foul tip from Evans. So facing an 0-2 count for Evans. On deck for the Troopers is Griff Switzenberg. And Fredrickson sees what Brigger wants as a pitch. As Fredrickson likes it. Delivers a throw. This one hit. That one's going to foul off. So stays alive on an 0-2 count. And the throw back from the umpire. And now Fredrickson the throw. Swing and miss. Gets him another strikeout. So 1 down. That's the 4th strikeout for Fredrickson today. And now so Switzenberg, the second baseman, he also pitched for a little bit yesterday. Fredrickson the throw. And that one's going to go for ball 1. So with 1 ball, 0 strikes, and 1 out, on the strikeout from Evans, that one a foul tip. So it puts the count at 1-1. I also apologize. I think I'm a little bit ahead of you guys, so I apologize if I spoil it. And now Frederickson to throw. That one dropped, but they say ball. So 2-1 the count. Top of the third inning, Hardhats up 4-0. A big, big second inning. They get 4 on the board. Now Frederickson for the 2-1 count. The throw comes swinging to miss for strike 2. Rowan Frederickson, 4 strikeouts. He struck out Evans on the previous at bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 down. Frederickson the throw. Swing and miss. Another one. So Switzenberg strikes out. And that's going to be number 5. And with Hit the Road Jack playing in the background, so we're now back to the top of the order. So Greer, who grounded out to second, to Reeder at his first appearance. So we have 2 down. Frederickson delivers. That one will go for ball 1. Frederickson, that one just got a little bit out of the hand there of Carter Brager. A breaker ball on the outside of Greer. So 1-0 the count with Greer faces. Frederickson the throw. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Rowan Frederickson having a great inning here and a great inning last inning. He threw 2 strikeouts last inning. He's thrown 2 strikeouts in this inning. So with a 1-1 count, here comes the throw. This one pops. Hits the netting. So that's going to be a 1-2 count from the foul tip. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Frederickson on the mound. No one on bases. Delivers the throw. Swing and a miss. And there's going to be a throw on a 3rd strike drop, but that will do it. So that's going to do it for the top of the 3rd. Still a 4-0 lead for the Hardhats. So that's going to be another strikeout for Frederickson. Add it to number 6. So 3 strikeouts in that inning for Rowan Frederickson, as he had 1 in the first inning, 2 in the second, now 3 here in the 3rd. Ryan Eggebauer, who had 8 strikeouts yesterday, he also started the match for the second game in the doubleheader yesterday. And now Frederickson gets 6. So we'll take a quick second here. We'll let the Troopers warm up. And soon to be due up here will be Carter Johnson, the designated hitter. We'll be right back. So the Troopers will get their final ones in, as Kula will not be on the mound here to start this 3rd inning. It's going to be Dom DeStefano. So out after 2 was Cassius Kula, so Dom DeStefano will come in with Carter Johnson on the mound, or excuse me, in the box for the Hardhats. Johnson, who grounded to 3rd at his last at-bat. And DeStefano will take a second here. He returns back to the mound. So 4-0 lead for the Hardhats with 4 hits for them and 1 for Sheridan. DeStefano, his first pitch, that one will go inside for ball 1 to start the count in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Now facing a 1-0 count, A throw from DeStefano. That one in for strike one. So he evens it out at ones apiece. Johnson back in the box. DeStefano delivers. That one in for strike two. So 1-2 for Johnson for the Hardhats. With 0 outs here, the first at bat at the bottom of the third. DeStefano the throw. That one goes for ball two. 2-2 the count. Here comes the throw for DeStefano. That one inside. Johnson kind of scurried out of the way. So we're back. We're at full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And DeStefano back on the mound with Johnson. DeStefano with the pitch. It comes. Swing and miss. Strikes him out. So Carter Johnson will strike out. And that's the first strikeout for Dom DeStefano. So Steen comes back up as Dexter Steen. He walked and he got in for the run. He was the first run. And then it was Dawson Inhofer who drove him in the first of his at-bat. That one's going to go in for ball one. And Dexter Steen, that's 5 balls here in a row. And when he got walked, he had 4 straight balls. So DeStefano, that one, he'll foul tip on this one for Steen. So that puts him, breaks the streak. Announcer's jinx, I guess. So 1-1 with the count for Steen with 1 down following the strikeout of Carter Johnson. DeStefano shakes the head no. He doesn't like that pitch that was offered. He gets this one now. Here comes the throw. Steen will take it, but that'll be for ball 2. 2-1. 2 balls and a strike with 1 down. And Steen with the throw. That's going to be for strike 2. Didn't swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes with an out. No runners on base. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Hardhats up 4-0. Here comes the throw. That one goes outside for ball 3. And Dexter Steen only plays baseball now, but he used to play hockey. His little brother Brixton Steen, also a part of the national championship team that the Rushmore Thunder won. Teammates with Wyatt Reeder. Here goes the throw for DeStefano. Steen hits this one. Lost the hat, but this one will go to second base. Throw it to first. Dropped it. And he's safe. So Dexter Steen, he's going to stay safe on an oopsie. And that one may not want to be on the highlight reel. So with Steen at first with 1 down. So an error. And also K. McLeod, who struck out his first appearance. So DeStefano with the first throw. That one down to the dirt. Steen's going to take off. He lost control. That's going to be 1 base for Dexter Steen. So that's 1 ball off the count. And Dexter Steen, who was walked, his first at-bat, he also was brought in for a run. And now he'll steal that base from the pitch that Phillips couldn't control behind the plate. So with 1 ball, 0 strikes, Steen now at second. One last look for DeStefano. That one up high as McLeod turns out of the way. So ball 2. There's K. McLeod with 1 out. The throw comes, swings. That one fouls it into the dugout. Off the wall. Oof, off a Hardhat's back. And he shakes it off. So that puts 1 strike on a 2-1 count. There's K. McLeod. In yesterday's game, like we said earlier, McLeod, who was designated hitter, back in the outfield again. And this one chops. This one goes foul. So 2-2. Yeah, so McLeod yesterday, who got a single in the second game yesterday. And also got walked as well. So Steen will go to third. That's going to be one base. Drops it. And that's going to be another stolen base for Dexter Steen. He steals third. And that's 2 stolen bases like Lars Kiefer did yesterday. Dexter Steen will do it today. So we're at full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes that one. He's going to walk him. So he walks McLeod. So Dawson Inhofer up at bat. So Inhofer, who had that triple RBI, which brought in Dexter Steen, and that one hit was into right center. And now, with only 1 down, here comes the throw. That one's going to take it for a strike, but there goes McLeod going to second. Out of control, but they're going to bring in 1 run. And he's safe after the throw, so it's a 5-0 lead for the Hardhats. So they stole second. And now we're 5-0. Bottom of the 3rd inning with 1 strike. Following that with Dawson Inhofer at bat. So McLeod leads off second. And that one's going to go for ball 1. So it evens it up as Steen gets another run in. That's his 2nd of the game. Stefano, this one's hit. That one goes to left center. Will it get down back to the warning track? And it's down. They're going to bring in runners. McLeod after 3rd. And now here goes Inhofer at 3rd. He's going to slide it safe. That brings in 1. And that's another triple RBI for Dawson Inhofer. And we are now 6-0 for the Hardhats. Carter Brager up at it now. Dawson Inhofer once yet again. So Kay McLeod also brought in a run. So the first of this at-bat, this one's going to pop up. This one will be shortstop Hamrick. Under, he catches it. So a pop fly to shortstop for Carter Brager. And now Blaine Hunt. So with 2 down, 2 outs. Blaine Hunt, who was hit by pitch earlier, and now 3 hit by pitches for him on the season. He had 2 last night in the 2nd game. And he's already got 1 today. Maybe he could repeat it. So with 2 outs, with Inhofer at 3rd. That one bobbles off the glove. That's going to be in for ball 1. Just ricocheted off the glove and right back out. So Dom DeStefano on the plate, or mound, with the throw. Bunting, this one's going to stay fair. And that one he misses. That's going to be one off a successful bunt from Blaine Hunt. It's 7-0 Hardhats here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Blaine Hunt, a bunt. Hunt with the bunt. So bunt RBI, which brings in Inhofer. And now Lars Kiefer, he also had a double, 2 RBI, and a throwback to first as Hunt slides in safe. With still with 2 outs, so no balls, no strikes. Stefano with the throw, and this one's going to pop up into the spectator seats. And keep an eye out. That's why everyone says heads up. So with 1 strike, a 1 count. Here comes a throw. That one for strike 2. Catches Kiefer looking. So 0-2 the count with 2 outs. With Hunt on first, following the bunt RBI. And now DeStefano. And he'll take a second off the mound here as the wind picked up. As the second base umpire holding on to his hat, making sure that doesn't fly off. And now, DeStefano looks back at first where Hunt ready to leap if needed. Here comes the throw, that one for ball one. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. $7-0 for the Hardhats. They had a 4-run inning in the second. Now this is the third inning, so they have 3 runs here in this inning. Here comes a throw. Did he go? And that's going to be for ball 2. 2-2 with 2 outs. With Kiefer in the box for the Hardhats. Stefano looks back at first where a Hunt off the base. And a stolen base early. Here comes the throw. Kiefer, this one a shortstop. The throw to first will be caught. So that's going to do it. But 7-0 after the after the bottom of the third inning. So we go to the fourth inning, and the Hardhats off to a hot start. We'll be back here in a second for the start of the fourth inning.
All right, fans, got those 50 tickets. We got the winning ticket. It is a red ticket, number 937595. A red ticket, 937595. Tonight's prize, $57.50. If that is your ticket, please take it to the booth.
So Rowan Frederickson will remain on the mound here for 22. And up to bat will be the shortstop, Tanner Hamrick. Here comes a throw. That one just goes upstairs for ball 1. So 1-0 count to start. Hamrick, at his previous at-bat, he grounded out to third. The throw comes, that one in for a strike. Frederickson, so far to this point, 6 strikeouts. So he's facing a 1-1 count, a swing and a miss. And that gets 1, so 2 strikes on the board for Hamrick. 1-2 count. Throw comes and a swing. That one bobbles it, but that one's going to go foul. So stays at a 1-2 count following that foul. Hamrick, who made a great catch from the Larski for the first pitch of the game for the Hardhats, leaped out of the air to make it. So 1-2 count. Frederickson deals. This one's going to pop up. Under it comes Frederickson. That one's going to go foul anyway. Steen and Frederickson both were chasing after it, but it went foul. So stays at a 1-2 count. One ball, 2 strikes. Top of the fourth inning. Still a 7-0 lead here for the Hardhats. As Frederickson doesn't like what Brager is offering here, and he gets what he wants. Throw for Frederickson. Gets him. Drop third strike, but the throw for Brager, and that's going to be another strikeout for Frederickson. Add it to number 7 of the day for Frederickson. His first of the fourth inning. He had 3 in the last inning. So Phillips up and next for the Troopers as he had a double his last time up. And Frederickson, so with 1 out. With the throw, this one goes in for a strike. So an 0-1 count. As Frederickson, he's been throwing some great heat here today. On an 0-1 count with 1 down. Frederickson delivers the throw. That one is going to get a piece of him, so he'll take that one. So Phillips is hit by pitch. So that will put Phillips at first. And now up next will be Owen Matthews, who struck out, or sorry, Gage Rogers. So Rogers comes in. This is his first appearance. So we have one out. Phillips, who was hit by pitch on his last go. Frederickson returns back to the mound. Dexter Steen, ready as always if needed for the pickoff attempt. Frederickson throws that one goes up high. That one's going to go for ball one. 1 ball, 0 strikes with 1 down. Phillips extends off first base with Gage Rogers now at bat throw to Steen, gets his body on that one. That one went into the dirt, so Phillips, who slides into first safe and sound. And now Frederickson still on the 1-0 count. With the throw, that one's going to go for ball 2. So on a 2-0 count, the wind picking up again here. This one, it's going the other way where it was the other earlier. So it's going north instead of south. And now throw back to Steen at first. He's safe. So Phillips, who went for that. And now it's still a 2-0 count. Frederickson with Rogers. Here comes a throw. That one for ball 3. 3 balls, 0 strikes, 1 down. Still 7-0 Hardhats. Hardhats have 6 hits, followed by Sheridan's 1. And now Frederickson looks over the shoulder, see where Phillips is. From first base, Frederickson with the throw. That one outside. He's going to walk him. So that will be a walk. Oops. So Evan Barney, who will come in, he's the designated hitter. He struck out because there was a matter when Matthews, Barney, and Lamb, all 3 got struck out. So that's 3 strikeouts in a row for Frederickson. So with Phillips at second and Rogers at first for the Troopers, this brings Barney, the designated hitter, in. The first one, that one try to bunt, but that will go in for ball 1. So 1-0 count. So he waits. Runners at first and second for the Troopers with 1 down, top of the 4th. Frederickson, the throw, another bunt. This will foul. So to a 1-1 count. On deck for the Troopers is number 8, Gunnar Lamb, the center fielder. So with a 1-1 count, Frederickson looks back at second where Phillips, and he's going to throw. Did he get him? He got him! So gets him. He tried to go. So 2 outs. Catches Phillips. That was Blaine Hunt, the shortstop, who covered. And now with a 1-1 count still here for Avon Barney. As here's the throw. That one, strike 2 in the box. A little bit of an off-speed throw. So 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Following the successful pickoff for the Hardhats from Blaine Hunt. Frederickson the throw. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts for Avon Barney. And that is the 8th strikeout for Rowan Frederickson. And that will do it for the top of the 4th. We go down to the bottom of the inning. We'll reset the board here. Still 7-0, 6 hits for the Hardhats with 1 hit for Sheridan. Still on the mound for the Troopers will be Dom DeStefano. He threw one strikeout in the last inning, which was his first inning throwing. So we'll take a quick second, let these guys warm up, and we'll be back shortly.
Leading off the inning for 122, number 18, Wyatt Reader.
So it's Mr. Slim Shady, the Swing King, Wyatt Reader. Steps in the box here for the Hardhats here in the bottom of the fourth inning. As Wyatt Reader, as he had a triple RBI on his last at bat, which he had a single at his first. So 2 for 2 today. DeStefano with the first one. That will go in for strike one. Reader, as even at his last 2 at bats, he kind of took those strikes, then waited to the final ones to swing. So that one goes in for strike 2 again. So 0-2 count for Wyatt Reader with 0 outs here. The first at bat at the bottom of the fourth inning. That one will go up high for ball 1. Wyatt Reader patiently waiting for one that he can easily grab. Stefano the throw. And one for ball 2. So 2-2 this count with 0 outs. And they wait. No runners on bases. DeStefano delivers. That one up. So 3 balls in a row thrown by DeStefano. So this will go to full count. Reader, who was walked yesterday. Usually Reader doesn't get walked, because it's the Swing King and he hits him. And this one he's going to hit that one, but that one hooks foul. So it'll stay full count. Fighting off 2 strikes and 3 balls. Swing King, Wyatt Reader, the nickname. Back in the box, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. DeStefano the throwing come. And walks him. So he will walk Wyatt Reader. So Reader walks the first time here today. And Jace Morgan, who struck out his last at bat, but his first, he got a single, and he also stole bait. He stole for Jace Morgan his first go round. So 1 for 2 today for Jace Morgan, the left fielder for the Hardhats, with Reader on first base. First one, that one in the dirt, so that's going to go for ball 1. Reader, who will stay on first base, won't attempt to try to steal second. Hardhats still have 6 hits here, with the Troopers 1. 7-0 lead still for the Hardhats. Here comes the throw, try to pick off. Reader is in time, he's safe. So with the ball and 0 strikes, 0 outs, following Reader being walked. DeStefano on the mound. Throwing. This one hit by Morgan. This one drops into center field. That's going to be a base hit. And that moves Reader to second. So Jace Morgan will go to first. Moves Reader. Easy as that. So that's the second single of the day for Jace Morgan. Carter Johnson up to bat for the Hardhats. He struck out his last go round, and he grounded out to third his first attempt, or his first at bat of the day. So with runners at first and second for the Hardhats with 0 outs, as Johnson stolen base yesterday. Stefano throwing, and that one down low. Reader, that one gets behind him. So Reader will go to third, and that's going to be all the way around. So Aguilan gets behind him, so Reader advances to third. Morgan advances to second. And that's going to be 1 ball, so a 1-0 count. Here at the bottom of the fourth, DeStefano still remains on the mound for the Troopers. So Johnson facing a 1-0 count. The throw comes, and this one's going to pop up foul right behind us. So evens it out at 1-1
Ball on play. Please return that ball.
with 0 outs faced. And now we even up the hits and the runs for the Hardhats at 7 apiece. So 1 ball, 1 strike, DeStefano. With Johnson, he'll take a second here. He gets all set up. Throw. That one will go in for a strike. So 2 strikes now on the count with 1 ball. And the Hardhats still up 7-0. DeStefano with the throw, swing and a miss, but a third strike drop, so that one will do it. So that's going to be a strikeout. So 1 out, but Raiders going to get in. So 8-0 for the Hardhats. And Morgan advances to third with 1 out. So that's the first out of the inning. So Steen returns to the box. And Steen, he got a single, and he also stole base and got in for a run. So here comes the throw. That one's going to be dropped right in front of Steen. Morgan holds, and he's just going to stay at third. So this is going to be a 1-0 count for Dexter Steen to kick things off for him. 1-0 count. DeStefano the throw. Steen pops this one up here to the right. And they got people on it. And that's going to foul. So puts it at 1-1 count. As Dexter Steen, who was running to the base to see if that was going to stay fair, as they had 3 troopers. It had the first, second baseman, and the right fielder all chasing after it. They let it drop for the foul. 1-0 the count. Steen swings and misses, so that's going to be for a 1-2 count now with 2 strikes on the big board. 1 down, they have Jace Morgan on third base for the Hardhats, and the umpire talking to DeStefano here for real quick. They both return to the mound. Wind picking up now. The wind's just going any direction it wants right now. It's just crazy. Still 8-0 lead for the Hardhats here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So Steen faces 1 ball with 2 strikes. Here comes the throw. Steen hits this one. This one again hooks right, and it goes foul. Steen stays alive on a 1-2 count. That one goes fair or foul. Both start with an F. Fair and foul. That one hooks foul. So 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. DeStefano gets the ball. He's ready to pitch. Steen's ready to hit. DeStefano kicks and deals the throw outside. That's going to go for ball 2. And on deck for the Hardhats will be number 27, Key McLeod. So 2-2 count. The throw comes. Steen pops this one up. And this one, catcher's under it, and he's going to let that one drop. It goes foul. Dexter Steen can't catch a break from all these fouls. So 2-2. Steen does the trot back. I think that's the 3rd time he's gone to first, and he has to trot back to home following a foul. So 2-2, 1 out. Draws his line. A lot of pitches at this at-bat for Steen. DeStefano comes. That one goes outside for ball 3. Steen goes to full count. As Steen, like I said, he's very patient. He's very disciplined at the plate. Doesn't swing at much unless if it's right down the middle. Full count. DeStefano the throw. Steen fouls off again. And that one drops to the spectator's seats. And there's the kids running to it. We got 4 going after. So, again, I think that's the 4th time. Steen fights off the foul, stays alive. With 1 out, Morgan on third. Still for the Hardhats. DeStefano throws that one. Then he walks him. Dexter Steen gets walked for the 2nd time today. So that puts a runner at first and third for the Hardhats. Still with one out. And now the manager for the Troopers will come out to talk to DeStefano as they take a second here. As they're going to pull one guy from the outfield and move DeStefano. See what his number is. Still 8-0 for the Hardhats. DeStefano, who threw one strikeout. And he's just going to go to the backfield. He switches with the number 4, Gage Rogers. So Rogers hops in here, bottom of the 4th inning, as he walked when he hit. As he gets his warm-up throws, and then Kane McLeod, who is due up for the Hardhats. He struck out his first appearance, then he got walked his second time around, and then he got in for a run. So Kane McLeod, the right fielder. And like I said earlier, Jace Morgan on third base. He's been there for a while. And then Dexter Steen, who got walked. He earned his walk for sure. You could say that. And now he'll be on first base. So Gage Rogers finalizes his final throws. As they're going to put Ty Leach in. I think they subbed him out for Owen Matthews. So Leach comes in. Would it be right field? It has to be infield. I'll get a look here in a second. So bottom of the 4th inning, 8-0 Hardhats with one out. With Steen at first, Morgan at third. Kane McLeod up. We'll take a look here again at the weather as they all disperse. 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind, which was at 14 miles per hour earlier, it's up to 19 now. So we're ready to go. Rogers on the mound. He hits his first throw. Kane McLeod. As they get the thumbs up to see if they're ready. Phillips, who is behind the diamond today for the Troopers, talking from a distance away. And they get ready. So McLeod steps into the box. With one out. Here comes the throw. That one down in the dirt for ball 1. One ball, 0 strikes. McLeod, that one went straight to the dirt. Throwing a breaker ball was Gage Rogers. Second pitch, that one again down low for ball 2. All Hardhats very disciplined at the plate. They don't take much, and that's why that's why they earn walks most of the time. So with 2 balls, 0 strikes, throw to first. Steen gets there in time, stays safe. And they look back and forth. 2-0 count. Rogers throws, and this one McLeod hits it left field. Will it drop? And see you later! A home run! A 3-run homer for Kane McLeod. And that's 11-0. And a 3-run homer. That's the first home run of the season. Kane McLeod, you earned it. So a 3-run homer. Second home run for the Raiders inside, but this is the first outside the park home run. And look at that. So it takes everyone off the bases. 11-0. That one deep, almost hit the bus in the parking lot. So now up next, Dawson Inhofer, and he's had 2 triples today, which have both brought in 2 RBIs. So he has 2 triples and 2 RBIs here at 2 appearances at the plate. And now Dawson Inhofer, the third baseman. And there goes a hat loose with the wind picking up. Again, we kind of discussed this, so the umpire says, go get your hat. So they got to return that. We take a little second here. So Rogers on the mound. First few pitches thrown at K. McLeod. He hammers it, kisses it goodbye, tucks it into bed. The baby bottle milk. He says later. Here comes a throw from Rogers. That one gets rid of him. That's going to go for a ball. Pops up. So with 1 ball and 0 strikes for Dawson Inhofer. And holding on to it now is Gage Rogers. Kicks that one down low again for ball 2. So a 2-0 count. Still 1 out here at the bottom of the 4th. 11-0. 8 hits for the Hardhats. A 3-1 homer that K. McLeod drove in. And that will earn the walk for Dawson Inhofer. So Carter Brager, the catcher, up as he grounded to third, his first at bat, and then he popped up to shortstop at his last appearance. So still 1 out. Rogers walks Inhofer with Brager up at the at bat. Here comes the first throw, and that one will go inside for ball 1. One error thus far, and that belongs to Sheridan. Throw to first. Inhofer is in time. That one, really close one. Inhofer slides just in time. Gotta be quick. If he looks right at you, you either stay or you don't. Stay or you don't. So 1-0 the count to Brager. Here's the throw. Brager just foul tips this one. Hits the netting, but that will put for the first strike up on the big board, on the scoreboard. Black Hills Federal Credit Union scoreboard in the back. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out with Brager at bat. Here's the throw and a swing. This one, that stays fair. It's on the third base line. So Inhofer, he's going to go to 3. Brager rounds first, goes to second. They both get in safe. So that's a double for Carter Brager. And still 0 outs. So Blaine Hunt, he'll come back up. He was hit by pitch, and then he bunted, which brought Reeder in. So Blaine Hunt back in the box. So they have runners at second and third. Here comes the first of this one. That one's going to go for ball 1. 1-0 count, 1 down. Gage Rogers. This is his first inning pitched after relieving for Dom DeStefano. And that one goes down inside again for ball 2. So 2-0 with the count for the Hardhats. Hunt. And so a little bit of a discussion here by Phillips on the mound. We'll let them discuss. Yet again, I apologize for the delay. We'll go to the other camera here. See, you get another perspective. So 2-0 is the count. Here comes the throw. Hunt hits this one to first. And they're going to get that one, but that brings in 1. So a sacrifice hit for Blaine Hunt. Brings in 1. So 12-0 with the score now. So it just has 1 out on third. Reset the count. 12-0. As Kiefer, who grounded a shortstop his last time. Here comes the first throw. That one down in the dirt for ball 1. Nine hits for the Hardhats with 12 runs on the scoreboard. And we're still in the bottom of the 4th inning. 4 in the second inning, 3 in the third, and then now 5 here in the fourth inning. So this one again goes out inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 0 strikes, 1 out. Rogers the throw. Down in the dirt again for ball 3. So Carter Brager, who currently stands at third base. So 3 balls, 0 strikes for Kiefer. Here comes a throw, and that will earn the walk for Kiefer. And that's the first time he's been walked today. And Wyatt Rader, the swing king, back at. So Kiefer at first, Brager at third, and Rader, you just talk about a day. He had a single his first at bat, and a triple RBI, and then followed by a walk, and then he got a run in. So 2 outs. The big board will fix that. Here comes the first one. Rader will take. So 0-1 to start off his count. He started all of his at bats with a strike first. But look at that. He's still 3 for 3, 2 for 2, but with a walk. So 1 strike, 0 balls. Rogers the throw to Reader. This one kind of dodges out of the way. He gets a ball. They control it. Kiefer will stay at first. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. And a 12-0 lead for the Hardhats over the Sheridan Troopers. Gage Rogers the throw, and Reader hits this one. That one just hooks right on the foul line. So 1-2 with the count. Reader will enter back of the box with a 2-1 count. 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leans over the shoulder to see if Kiefer is still there. Throw comes outside for ball 2. We don't see Wyatt Reader at the baseball field. He's at Benson Sports Training, working out. Wyatt Reader, very strong kid, very nice kid. If you ever get the chance to meet him, one of the nicest kids you'll ever meet. So with a 2-2 count with 2 outs for Reader. Throw comes from Rogers. Reader pops this one up. This one's going to go left, and this one near the bullpen, and that's where it goes. So Reader with a 2-2, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Kiefer returns back to first with Brager at third. And Rogers gets his final preparations here before throwing the pitch. Here comes the throw. That one up high, so we're at full count. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Rogers on the mound looks to see what Phillips has to call behind the plate. Rogers will throw. There goes Kiefer to first. He's going to steal that one into the ground, but that will walk anyway. So bases are loaded with 2 outs. So Jace Morgan up. So that's back-to-back walks for Wyatt Reader. Jace Morgan, who had a single his last at-bat. 2 singles today and a stolen base, and he struck out. So he's 2 for 3. And now bases loaded. Here comes the first one of Morgan. That one will go down low for ball 1. 1 ball, 0 strikes with 2 outs. 1-0. Here comes the throw again. That one up high for ball 2. 2-0 the count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 12-0. Rogers again sets up, throws, and that one's going to be hit right back to Rogers and a loft underhand throw. So that's going to retire the bottom of the 4th inning, but what an inning. 5 runs, but the biggest story is Kane McLeod's 3-run home run out of the park. And we'll talk about that post-game, but first we'll let these guys get warmed up. Rowan Frederickson returns back to the mound. We'll be back here shortly. Alrighty, so we're back at you here with the MLB scores and the games happening today. So Toronto Blue Jays, I know one person will be happy for the Toronto Blue Jays. They defeat the AL East Baltimore Orioles 7-6. Raider family happy about that. San Francisco Giants beat the New York Yankees 5-4. Tampa Bay Rays beat the Atlanta Braves 8-3. Miami Marlins beat the Washington Nationals 11-4. And a shutout, Cincinnati defeats Pittsburgh 4-0, and Kansas City upsets Cleveland 4-2. Twins, they get a win over Detroit 5-1. Houston defeats the Angels 7-3, and we'll get into some more of those final scores here after this. So Frederickson remains on the mound for the Hardhats, and Frederickson has done a really great job. 8 strikeouts here in 4 innings pitched. Ryan Negabatter, who also had 8 strikeouts yesterday, he pitched, I think, 4 innings as well. Here comes the first one. Swing and a miss. As Peyton Ormseth, as he will get his first go at it. So it's a 0-1 count. Once right, Frederiksen to throw. This one fouls off. So that's 2. Hits the on-deck player. And that one definitely did not feel good as Ethan Harris shakes it off. So Ormseth facing an 0-2 count. As he steps out of the box, he will collect his thoughts, see what he's wanting to do. Umpire set. He gives the thumbs up. So 0 balls, 2 strikes here. Kicking off the top of the 5th inning. 12-0 Hardhats lead. The throw comes. This one a swing. This one hits the netting. So fights off an 0-2 foul. I thought that was coming right back at me. I forget there's a netting right here. But I play goalie, so I'm always ready. I'm always prepared if anything comes at me. That one I was like, oof, that's going to hit the window. But I forget there's a netting there. So 0-2 the count with Frederickson on Ormseth. Throw comes. That one outside. So that's the first ball of the at-bat. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here for Peyton Ormseth. Here's the throw. Did he swing that one in the dirt? So that will go for ball 2. So 2s on a count. 2-2 count as Frederickson gets what he wants with the pitch. Swing and a miss, strikes, and that is number 9 for Frederickson. The first here of the 5th inning. So Ethan Harris back up, the left fielder. He flew out to right field. His last at bat in the win there again, picking up. So with 1 down. And now here comes a throw. This one swings, fouls off. Right to the third base coach of theirs. So 0-1 will kick this 5th inning off. Still 1 hit for Sheridan. They look for another one. 9 for the Hardhats. Frederickson the throw. Another fouled off there by Harris. So 0-2 the count for Harris, the left fielder. 0-for-1 today. 0-2 for Frederickson. 9 strikeouts today for him. Here comes the throw. This one hit. Does that one stay fair? And they're going to count foul. That's a close one, but it hooks left. Dribbles all the way to the bullpen fence. 0-2 the count now with 1 down. Harris, Frederickson with the throw. Swing and miss. 10 strikeouts for Rowan Frederickson. I told you, he's been throwing some heat. He threw 1 in the first inning, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and now 2 in the 5th here. And now up next for Sheridan, Ethan Evans. He struck out 1 of the 10 for Rowan Frederickson. And now we'll start off with a 0-1 or 1-0 count. So 1-0 strikes. Frederickson to throw. That one got a piece of the catcher, but that's going to be a strike. It's like a weird ricochet. No hit by pitch. Evans back in the box. Frederickson gets the okay, ready to go. On a 1-1 count with 2 outs. Frederickson to throw. That one's in for strike 2. Frederickson could do it again to add 11. And he waits. Evans is ready. Frederickson delivers the pitch. The throw comes outside for ball 2. So 2-2 with 2 outs. Frederickson to tuck him away. The throw comes. This one's hit. Dribbler right to Steen, right in the glove, and that will do it. So a ground out to Dexter Steen, the first baseman. That will do it for the top of the 5th. And that will do it. So the final score, 12-0 in favor of the Hardhats. And Rowan Frederickson, incredible game thrown by him. The final score on your screen, hopefully. I know it's a little bit behind. We'll give it a second. I apologize for that again today. As they will go through the line and give the handshakes. So the Hardhats will advance to 3-0 on the season. Very impressive games. We'll get into that here in the post-game recap. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, we'll start here with our post-game recap, and what a game, ladies and gentlemen. What a game. The Hardhats, they go 3-0. We talked about this pre-game. Started 2-0, and we said yesterday, going, they won the second game 6-3. Started off hot. They go in. Look at this, 12-0. Just, the game was hot. Just hot bats for everyone. I don't think there was a guy that, didn't have a hot bat, but just great. We'll hit it off here. Ooh, excuse me. I think the biggest story, we talked about the story yesterday, which was Riot Reader's inside the park home run. When we talk about this outside the park home run from Kane McLeod, a 3-hit home run for Kane McLeod. Kissed that ball goodbye, tucked it into bed, read it a book, just said, see you later. And all the way past, almost hit the post 22 bus, it almost looked like. But, so a home run for Kane McLeod as they settle things there for that. And then we saw some other things. We saw shortstop Blaine Hunt. He had a few good, he had a bunt, which brought in an RBI. And we saw a lot of great other things here in this game. Dexter Steen, the first baseman, walked twice. We talked about him and his discipline at the plate and how well he doesn't do. He doesn't swing. He only swings at things that he's given to him straight down the middle. Jace Morgan, talk about him. What a game he had. Just Jace Morgan, right? I think just an outstanding player when I see him. Just discipline at the bat, swings when it's just at the right time. And Morgan, who hit 2 singles today, also had a stolen base, so he had some things going right for him. Dexter Steen, we also talked about him. He got walked twice. McLeod with the home run, but Dawson Inhofe for the third baseman. What a game he had. He had 2 triples that resulted into RBIs. So the first at-bat, he had a triple RBI. The second at-bat, he had a triple RBI as well. And he got walked on his third appearance. Carter Brager, the catcher, with Josh Elder, who was the catcher yesterday's game. So Brager comes in, and then he was 0 for 2. He grounded out to third base, his first at-bat, popped to shortstop, and then he had a double out of his second. Carter Johnson, Went 0 for 3 for the designated hitter. Wyatt Reeder had a great game, single his first at bat, and he had a triple RBI. And just Wyatt Reeder, the swing king. I mean, Wyatt Reeder, just a great baseball player, a great athlete, great kid. All of the above for Wyatt Reeder and the swing king. And then we're not going to forget to talk about Rowan Fredrickson. What a game from the starting pitcher. Just throwing Chinese mustard everywhere, right through the middle. Only walked a few guys, but Rowan Fredrickson was just on point today. Anything he did was just right through the middle into the strike zone. I mean, just incredible. So he had one strikeout the first inning, he had two the second, and then three in the third inning. So that's six, and then 7, 8, so 9 strikeouts for Rowan Fredrickson to add for him for the starting pitcher gig. Rowan Fredrickson, starting pitcher right there, and the Hardhats or the white uniforms. So they advanced to 3-0, and we'll see you here in the next 2 weeks. I'm glad you joined us with us here for the first opening weekend for the Hardhats. I'm glad you watched it. Like I said yesterday, I assure you I will get better as the games go on. I'm glad you joined us, and we'll see you next time. This is Wyatt Simmons signing off. See you later, Hardhat Nation.